Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington and Southern Stone Restaurant.
Welcome back. We are here with our good man, JQ Roberts. And I'm calling him JQ because I don't want to make an attempt on your first name without hearing it first, JQ. So I get to hear it once at least. How do you enunciate your name?
It's pronounced JaQualon.
Oh, it's easy.
So, a little bit. So like people think it's JaQualon at first, but then once they hear it the
that's
first
why
time.
I asked, because I'm like, there's probably 3 different ways you could go. And I'm like, that's easy, JaQualon.
Yes, sir.
Cool name, JQ. Well, welcome aboard, JQ.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. Appreciate you coming on. How was your summer?
My summer was great. I had my first year with, of course, Indiana Elite, and it was my first time playing my grade in a while. I've been playing with Team Blaze Select since I was like way younger, so just playing with my grade for the first time in a while. It just was pretty good.
Were you playing up a level before? Is that what you're saying?
I was playing up one level. So I was playing with 2022 for a while, and then I decided to play 2023 for my summer season off of my sophomore season. So we did pretty good this season. Went 44-1. Fortunately, we lost the last game of the season, the championship. But other than that, we did pretty good. Had a couple highlights and stuff throughout that, but I really had a lot of fun with them.
Man, that's like a New York Yankees streak or something. 44-1. Man.
44-1.
But other than that, you got your own season coming up soon. High school basketball around the corner. As we're about to hit November. So you're looking forward, of course, I'm sure to that.
Yes, sir. I'm really looking forward to it. Everybody's excited for the season to come up. Just making sure I stay focused on that with these coming weeks when we have tryouts, making sure everybody's locked in, ready to go when we start. So just preparing is the biggest thing these upcoming weeks, just making sure we're 100% ready for the season to start.
And I know it keeps you busy year round. We were talking about that off air, that most sports are now just year round because of whatever, AAU and travel and this, that, and the other thing. And then now you're coming back to you're finishing the other legs of everything else and still doing your personal training before you go to start their high school season. How much personal training do you do?
I do a lot. I make sure I do like maybe 2 hours, an hour and a half before school starts, just so I can get that out of the way. It gives me extra time to work on that. And then, of course, we do some stuff for Bloomington North. So those open gyms, it'll be alternating, usually Wednesday and Friday. So we'll be having those. And then I usually go to Teamwork Bloomington to get my weight training in. And then I'll have individual workouts with Coach DC at Twin Lakes. So we're just mixing that around throughout the week. I kind of alternate it so that I don't have 2 weight trainings and 2 individuals on the same day and same week.
Now, on those open gyms, who can come play in there? Anybody?
Anybody. Typically, it's usually, of course, the high school and then incoming freshmen. Sometimes we split the gym just depending on how many people we have there. But anybody who's planning on attending Bloomington High School North can show up.
Oh, that cuts it. I thought I may have had some eligibility left, but no chance there. Have you enjoyed the recruiting process thus far? I mean, because I know sometimes it can get just too hectic and too crazy.
I really enjoyed it, especially throughout the summer. Just going out there, seeing different colleges, the campuses, seeing the people there, the coaching staff, just seeing how great everything is. Of course, it's a little difficult with school going on, because the schedules kind of conflict a little bit, especially with having training and school at the same time. So just managing that, my mom really helps me out with that as far as planning and making sure I get all my homework done and all that stuff. So, but it's been really great.
Yeah, well, and I'll be honest with you. I know that is a lot to juggle right there. That's a lot of bowling balls up in the air because you're thinking about school, just thinking about school period, going back to school. And now you've got the work and this, and then you got the workouts. It's a lot to juggle. And especially it takes a mature person. I think kids are more, I shouldn't say kids, but teenagers are more mature than they were when my age, because I don't think I could handle all that. So now you've had offers from several schools: Cincinnati, Xavier, Indiana, of course, Indiana, right here in Bloomington. What stands out for Indiana?
Just the feel to it, the coaching staff, having Coach Woodson, all those new coaches in the coaching staff. Got to speak with them many times during open gyms, during visits, and just having like those conversations with them. Them telling me like what their plan is, if, like in the future as far as IU, and what they see in me in my future. Just having those conversations really uh, makes them stand out as far as like that family aspect. Of course, being in Bloomington, my mom used to go to IU. She graduated, and then my sister is currently enrolled into the school. She's a sophomore this year, so just that family aspect really stands out as far as Indiana. But overall, it's a really good school.
And speaking of Bloomington North, there a legacy of players that have come out of Bloomington North that some have played for IU, but some have gone on other places. But it just they've got their fair share of greats that have come out of that school. How's it feel to be a part of that? I mean, because you're going to be included in that.
It's really exciting, just because as you know, like a lot of people have said that there hasn't really been many that IU basketball players coming out of Bloomington North. I can't remember who the last one was that came out of Bloomington North, but it's been a while. So just being in that conversation, do you know?
Well, it wasn't Jared Jeffries, but I think it might have been a walk-on. So I'll have to research that. But you stumped me, man. That's funny. But Jared Jeffries is definitely one that came out back after the 2002 Final Four run. But and I could think of some before. But yeah, I'll have to dig that up. But I'm sure that there might have been a walk-on. But it's plus when you're that close to school to the university, it's not always going to be able to produce that. South has had their share. Jordan Hall's of one of those as well. But just being one of those Bloomington basketball rats, it just seems like that just being kind of cool in itself.
It's really exciting. Anthony Leal is one of them. Just being in the gym with him a couple of times. So sometimes we have like open runs. I'd be playing against him, especially during the basketball season. We played against him once. And so just playing against him and then being in that conversation with him is really exciting. Pushes me to work harder, and overall just exciting.
What do you guys talk about? When are you asking him, hey, what's this like? What's that like? Or what are you trying to learn?
Just being a better basketball player, being a better me. I always say that, being a better me, making sure I do the best that I can, the best to my abilities. And of course, he's a D1 basketball player, so he's kind of like a mentor to me. Just making sure I'm like going the right direction as far as playing wise, as far as nutrition. Nutrition is a big thing that I'm focusing on this year. Making sure like I eat the right things, weight training, making sure I'm lifting the right way, not putting my body in like risk throughout the game. So just having that mentorship from the players, from my mom. My mom's seeing like a lot of players come and go, so just having her around and those players really helps.
Well, I can tell you already that I know you already know this, but you are very, very fortunate because mom is very, very wise in the nutrition aspect. It's back even basketball players at IU back in the day, they would go to fast food places, and it has changed so much that the meals are prepared to help you guys have the best bodies you can to produce the best that you can as well. But how have you got to spend any time with any of the other guys on the Indiana's team? Talk to them. What have you learned? What do you hear?
Not so much as hung out with them. Like I've seen them a couple of times throughout visits, but other than that, I've really been focused on the basketball season coming up. But throughout the season, they may come to like a few games. We kind of have a little bit of chemistry with some of the players, but as far as talking with them a lot, I don't really do that just because of my schedule and how busy it is. But I'm really looking forward to having conversations with them as well.
And getting to looking at the schools that you have offers from, the bigger ones are Xavier, Cincinnati, of course, Indiana. They're all at least regional. Are you looking to stay at least in the region?
Not so much as region. For me, a really big thing is just the connection with the team, with the coaches. I want to go someplace where I'll be loved and appreciated, and I'll have a fit on the team. So like whichever school has like that best availability is the choose like this school I'll pick. But so it's not much as like location. It's just that fit that I'd be in.
It's a great way to look at that. And then your game itself. How, if you talk to Anthony, is he giving you tips on how to work on your game? I think you mentioned. Anybody else that you lean on? I know you have your trainer, DC as well. Anybody else that you look to for that type of advice?
Mostly just them. I've been with DC in the summer. We've been really working on my shot. So that's one of the biggest things that we've been working on as far as my game, making sure that stays consistent and just like overall athleticism, trying to get my vertical up. So at Teamwork Bloomington, I work out with Rod Root and the rest of the staff. And so we'll be doing like leg workouts, like split squats, all that stuff to further achieve my game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man, you'll be running in the sand soon and doing all kinds of crazy things. But yeah, the workouts, again, everything has changed so much. You mentioned the coaches earlier and getting to talk to them. What about them? Coach Woodson, let's take him, for example. What's it like talking to him? What bits of wisdom has he imparted upon you?
So Coach Woodson is very honest whenever he talks to me. He tells me the things that I'm doing good, but he also tells me the things I need to work on. So shooting was one of the things that he told me to work on, and I've taken that to heart. I've really pushed myself to further my game, and gotten in the gym a lot. But just that honesty, like really helps like me in a way that I can know what else to work on and what to do, and just be the best me. So,
what other coaches have you bonded with, or all of them, or how the conversation's gone with the other three coaches? Because there's probably something different that you get from each one.
Most of them have that honesty part, but I've been talking a lot with Coach Fife, having multiple conversations with him as far as like my season. We've talked a lot about the North season and what he's looking for in the season, and just that leadership role. It's really going to be big this season, and just making sure everybody, all the guys, are putting 100% effort. So that's one of the main things, not as far as like my future at IU, but what I could do right now.
What does leadership mean to you?
So coming in as a junior, one of the high classes in the school, I have a huge role that I have to play. The previous years, we've gone pretty far in the sectional. We haven't quite made it far in the championship. We've lost the championship last year. So this year, we really have big things ahead of us, and we have big dreams. Everybody has the same goal in mind, trying to get as far as you can, potentially winning the state title. People might say it's a far goal, but I really think everybody can come together and we can reach that goal. So just having that goal in mind, coming in during open gyms, everybody's putting 100% effort, and just having that goal really pushes us in a way that nobody else can do.
If it was easy, everybody could do it, right?
Yes, sir.
Other changes that have come along, NIL is probably the biggest that for us to talk about. There's different rule changes, but NIL now, I know that's something that is in the back of your head, even though that you're 2 years away from that. That's something that. What have you done research into it? How much have you looked into NIL and all that?
I've looked into a little bit, mostly off of social media, just looking at that, people posting sponsorships and all that stuff. But for me, it's mostly just trying to just work hard as possible. We're not really looking at the NIL yet. We're just trying to focus on the season and all that. But it's really gonna change and impact people's future. So it's probably going to be something that we look at in the future.
Absolutely. And what are you going to study? I mean, you already sound like you're smarter than me, the producer, and the audience put together. What's your field of study?
I might do something around physical therapy or just like nutrition, because one day the ball is going to stop bouncing. So I want to be as close to basketball as long as possible. So I feel like if I study in that area, I can stay close to it for as long as possible.
Absolutely. And then are there teams now? I know you're in Bloomington, and so IU is here. Have you followed them growing up? Is that or do you? Because a lot of times people just get hooked on different teams for different reasons. Their dad liked a different team, or they moved there. Did you, growing up watching college basketball, who did you tend to watch mostly?
Being in Bloomington, of course, I watched IU. My mom being an alum, she'd take me to the games. but she made a good job of keeping me neutral growing up.
Wow.
So I wouldn't like pick any favorites.
We need to have Mom on here too, man. You can't just say Mom did, Mom did. We need to get Mom on here and get her own little piece on here, and so she can be recognized, man. But she's done a heck of a job. Please tell her I said that.
Yeah, she's done a great job. And
I interrupted you, so I apologize.
Oh, you're completely fine. But yeah, she kept me neutral growing up, so not picking any favorites, and just making sure I look at the college as a whole, and making sure I don't skip through anything, and making sure I just go through the recruiting process.
How much trouble do you think you're going to have teaching people to say your name? Because I think it's easy once you show me. Or do you prefer JQ? Because I like the brevity, the shortness.
So a funny story. Every year for school, whenever you get those new teachers and she's going through the seating chart, it's kind of hard to tell my real name. So I'll tell them.
You're good.
So I'll tell them JQ just for short. So most of them will say JaQualon, but of course it's JaQualon. So like I know that like it's hard to pronounce the first time. So I'm a little lenient.
It really
now.
Isn't. It's easy as pie to me. I think people in the South would really say it. I think they'd say it like that no matter what, because that's how I think the Southern dialect, because I have relatives in there, is really heavy on the second syllable a lot. So they'd have your name down pat, man.
It's the first time hearing it. So like I'll usually say you can call me JQ. I usually go by JQ.
What do you do for fun? Now that you got a couple years of high school left, but because basketball takes up a lot of time. It's like a second job, school and the basketball, because we talked about it being year round, and you have to be dedicated to that if you're wanting to continue to go forward at whatever level, which obviously you do. What do you do for fun, and how do you find that time?
For fun, I usually read. Most people don't think I read, but I do. I try to stay off game.
So they don't think you read, or they don't think you can read? I'm just kidding.
But yeah, people think I don't usually read, but I'm a reader. Usually before bed, I'll read a couple pages.
What do you like to read?
So I was gifted the Kobe book by my grandma. So I need to finish that up. And then last year I read a Michael Jordan book. I don't know the title specifically, but I picked it up at my school library, and so I read that. But now I'm on the Kobe book, and I'm not finished with it yet, but I'll finish it soon.
How have you enjoyed it? Have you like a lot to take out of that?
Yes, sir. It's been great. Just as far as like mentality and preparation, just getting that mindset really, and it's really been good.
Well, man, I hope you're having fun. I hope you continue to have fun, and I can't thank you enough for taking a few minutes out to join us here today on Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and we'll be keeping up with the season. We're going to have you back on, and hopefully you're just going to be winning, and I know that you guys will be leading the charge. But thank you so much, man. We appreciate you, JQ.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
You bet. JQ Roberts from Bloomington North. He's an Indiana target, and we'll talk to when we come back.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington and Southern Stone Restaurant.